Welcome back to It's a Guy Thing podcast. Thanks for sticking with us and being loyal. We're here for a new episode, and we promise to keep them coming. This is Rick.
This is Michael.
And this is Mario.
And let's get it on. Dun, dun. I don't even know. I don't know about you guys, but last time I was at the president's, ball, and I was just talking to Cloris Leachman and fucking Al Gore. We were having a good conversation. That's what I consider fun. So I don't know what you guys do for fun. Fucking incredible pizza. That must be like hell.
You all right there?
Yeah.
Is it a monologue?
Yeah. I'm auditioning for the role of Fat Lazy Guy, number 1.
And I'm auditioning for Fat Lazy Guy number 2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Mike's laying on the floor, so
He's
it'll just be
doing the
Lazy Guy number 1.
The King's Speech sequel.
I never saw that. Is that any good?
I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
I don't like movies with the word speech in the title.
I don't even understand what that's supposed to mean.
Because it sounds boring, doesn't it?
I'm going to break this
The
chair,
King's
Mike.
Speech. That sounds like it's a movie about someone preparing to deliver a speech, which it is.
Yeah.
That sounds boring. I'm sure it's a good movie, but it sounds boring.
Don't be sure. You don't know.
If there was like, hey, you're going to check out
Colin Firth is a good actor, though. So
he is. He is.
It's not so
but
bad.
what if someone's like, oh, you're going to check out Brad Pitt? He's going to be in that movie called The Papal Address.
Papillon?
Papal.
People?
Does that sound interesting is my point.
No.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
No, all I can think of is to make fun of it.
Or like, if someone to call like, oh, you need to go see Anne Hathaway in The Monologue.
Yes.
She's not naked.
Maybe.
It's the first movie where she doesn't show her tits.
Maybe. She's hot enough. I'll still watch it.
She's pretty for having a bad taste in men and bug eyes.
Who's she dating?
She was with that guy who was like a fucking, he was like a fucking Bernie Madoff Jr.
I don't know. I don't read the magazines on the way out of HEB.
Neither do I. That's just shit that's on Yahoo. Anything that I ever sound like I know about, it's whatever that's on Yahoo that day on the headline while I'm taking a shit. That's the only thing I know.
Fed.
That's the only thing I know about what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna. You're not recording this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That's why. That's the big giant thumbs up. Just a minute ago, before Mike officially passed out.
Anyways, okay. Well, let's go. Let's get right on it. I'll just leave out my controversial political statements for when we're not recording.
Well, why not? Why not be?
Why not be? Because I'm the only one that's on the limb. So let's move on.
No, I'm on the limb all the time, man.
Let's move on. What's our topic for today?
We're just gonna do it that way. We're not gonna roll it.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm not doing it. We've already decided that I'm just like the worst at talking.
I didn't even know we were recording.
That's with the big giant thumbs up. I don't have
not
a
the
big
symbol.
red light.
You got ambushed.
Rowdabush. You got Rowdabushed? Remember him?
You got ambushed?
What happened to that guy? Andrew, are you out there? If you're out there, send us a message. Say hello.
Mike's reconnecting.
I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know what you're up to.
So you want to just dive in? What is the topic, Rick? That's an ambush.
Yeah. No, actually, we're back on schedule.
Hopefully,
we're back on schedule with it's a guything.com podcast.
No, it's a guy thing
/
podcast.com.
$XY.
Okay, just so you all know, because I am all about being transparent. It is 1:00 in the morning. We're very tired. Rick's very drunk. Mike just got up off the floor for a little nappy nap, and I got to go to work in 7
what woke me
hours.
Up? Hearing myself falling asleep when I heard the.
It was that ghost breathing.
I heard myself. I was like, "Whoa, better get up." So I'm back.
He's back on track.
We're
he
back.
Just did an 8-ball. He's ready to go.
So. I'm not going to transition this puppy, so somebody else.
No. So it's not on this particular recording, but earlier we're talking about again trying to get back to some cohesive angle of discussion, which we like to go off
Cohesion
of.
is nice.
No, but we were talking about this is always a thing that it's interesting to talk about because, like the guy thing, right?
Yeah.
That's the thing we've talked about. It's the name of the podcast, obviously, and it's something that we stray from quite a bit, which is fine because for me, being a guy is living in the tangents because that's all I do.
That's all we
you
do.
know what I mean? It's hard to concentrate. It's hard to focus. You have refrigerator blindness, as the women call it, I believe. No one's
I've
ever
never
told
heard
me
that.
that, but I've heard that. My mom told me that once. Like,
I always laugh at all the stuff that you see. Like, well, I guess you don't see it because you're not on Facebook. But Sarah's like, "Oh, look at this! It's funny," and it's always making fun of a guy because the girls are like, "Oh, blah 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 blah," and the guy's like, in his mind, he's like, "Did I download that game? I forgot if I downloaded that game. Hopefully, I did because I get double XP this weekend." And she's like, "Should we have kids?" Oh my God, he's not answering. Why is he not answering?
what's
doesn't
he
want to
so
have kids.
worried
He
about?
doesn't even know if he wants to be with me. And the guy's like,
"Do I want Hooters
he's
or do
like,
I want Buffalo
did I flush
Wild
the
Wings?"
toilet before I left? Because I don't want her coming back to that. I flushed the toilet, right?
Yeah. My big thing, usually 9 times out of 10, if I look strained or that I'm not paying attention, it's because I'm going, did I turn
Forget
off?
something?
No, I'm thinking, did I turn off the dryer? That's 9 times
really?
out of 10. That's exactly what I'm worried about.
Wow.
Did I turn off the dryer? Did I put the toilet seat down? Did I lock the door? Those are my neuroses.
Wow.
But anyway, so going along the lines of that, we were talking about guy stuff, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
And all the different things that entails. But one of the things that you can kind of pinpoint about air quote time
Yeah.
guy stuff is things that stereotypically guys learn throughout their life, specifically in their formative years, right?
Right.
So we're talking about simple things like how to shoot a gun,
For those in
hunt,
Texas.
how to clean an animal you shot, how to change your own oil, how to change a flat tire,
Yeah.
how to barbecue,
camp.
how to grill,
How to grill, yeah.
how to can your own preserves. No, it's
no, that's not
that's
a
not a
guy
good thing.
No, I don't think so.
Uh,
That's a gatherer thing. I don't know.
but yeah, there's all kinds of things like lots of stuff.
How to
And
kill bugs.
That's the stuff we're talking about. So we were kind of dancing around that and touching on that, and kind of quizzing each other. So we figured we'd expand on that here.
Yeah, definitely.
And-
Well, I'll start it off. First of all, I know one of the first things Mike and I did as a 2x2 couple, my wife and I, and then he and at the time, wife or girlfriend?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When we
that
went
first
camping,
time we
sorry.
all four got together in the
Camping,
yeah,
that was a
hot
while
tub.
back. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a while back. Where was it? The falls.
Pedernales Falls?
Pedernales Falls.
Mm.
I had never been camping before
Niagara
that. I don't know
Falls.
if I told you that.
I
during
think
that
I remember
time.
that you hadn't been camping.
I had never been camping, so
Oh, I'm not. Mike knows
I
that,
was
and
doing.
he always thinks I don't like camping, but I just don't know how to camp.
Yeah, well, I didn't either, but I
Yeah.
was like, well, I'm going to trust this guy to show me,
Mhm.
So
and it worked.
cooler weather, you'd be down to give it a shot.
Maybe
Cool weather was nice.
Does
it
it
was
depend
really
on if
running
it's-
water.
Does it depend on the people?
clean restrooms. No, it was nothing to do. Like Monica Bellucci could ask me to go camping, and I'd be like,
Whoa.
"Is there a clean bathroom with air condition?"
There's
that's-
no air condition.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. Like,
There's-
That's why I
it's
said
semi-clean
cooler weather.
bathroom. Yeah,
it's
that would
still
imply
clean
that-
bathroom. Is there a clean bathroom?
It's clean. It's clean.
That's
People
pretty clean.
shower there.
Yeah.
It's not disgusting. It's just not
No,
your
yeah.
bathroom.
It's not the.
Yeah,
It's not a third
It's
world
not weird.
trash dump.
No, it's not weird unless you go in and somebody's showering
It's
in there.
more
then
it's
kinda
more
weird.
civilized than you think about it because the state park campsites are set up where they can make them as nice as you want, where there's electrical outlets for the RVs and the actual pop-up campers. There's cabins you can rent out where you have basically a full house with a kitchen and a suite and fridge and stuff like that. Or you can just have campsites where you can set up your tents. Or you can get hardcore and do primitive where you have to actually carry your gear on your back and walk into a wooded area and then just find a spot to pick
Yeah.
out and hope you don't get eaten.
Yeah.
So
And there are wild animals out there.
there,
We were
and
in-
they'll, and they'll,
There was a raccoon out there that night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a raccoon.
It was kind of cool.
But if you're in the normal campsite area where it's like, because it's scored into the ground where you'll see like a little bit of a pavement for your car to pull up on, and then there's already kind of a predetermined flat area for your tent to be laid out on. Normally, no matter what campsite you pick, the bathrooms are walking distance away from that. No matter where you are, you're centralized to a bathroom, and the bathrooms are routinely cleaned by the rangers
Yeah.
and the custodial service.
Yeah,
so
we were like 50 yards away from one. It wasn't
Well,
that far.
really, what I mean, like, and I always use bathroom as a joke because that's a thing, but it's really just and this word
It's the woods.
No,
Rick.
no,
You can poop in the woods. It's
no.
fine.
What I'm saying is, this is where I admit about one of the many non-stereotypically guy things about me is that I dislike discomfort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I love being in the woods. I love walking and being in, like,
In
the
nature
wilderness
and
and the nature.
everything.
I love all of that. So it's not a matter of, like, bugs or spiders or whatever, like, or rocks or sun. Nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah.
It's that I like the feeling of being able to go home and, like, go to bed afterwards or, go take a shower. And it's that discomfort. Like, when I was a kid, I hated being at the beach, little kid, because I hated sand.
Yeah.
I hated sand getting in all my stuff and all my clothes and blah, 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 Mm-hmm. That's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. That's like where people now are like, oh, you're a puss because you don't like, sweating and like getting sand. I'm like, yeah, that's why it's not a guy thing that I learned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, camping. You were talking about camping.
Camping, yeah.
Cut in on your topic.
No, it's cool. I mean, that's the thing. You've never gone camping, so that's something you didn't learn. I didn't learn it. Mike, when did you pick up camping? Was it something that you acquired as an adult? Or were you like a Weebelo scout? Or
no, I had no formal experience for that. But when I was in, I think high school, Jack and I went camping once. Where I think my mom dropped us off at a place. We got our tent and our sleeping bags and stuff like that. And I think it was for some like weekend thing or something like that. I honestly can't remember the full details of it, but just sort of asked people in general, like, oh, what are some things you need? And it was like, you need a sleeping bag, you should have snacks, and it's always good to have, just certain little basic items. Since it's a controlled area, the state parks aren't wild, they're controlled areas, but just for fun, it's kind of just cool to take with you, like, a buck knife and a lantern for night, although you don't need a lantern.
That knife I was throwing around.
Yeah, but you can also just take a flashlight, and like I'll typically take, my guitar and I'll take a cooler and fill it with ice and beverages and food and Doritos.
AK-47.
You don't rough it. To me, camping isn't roughing it. That's not the same thing. I think of camping as just living what we do here with like Doritos and turkey and cheese sandwiches and beer and ice and sodas and stuff like that. And the guitar, the only difference is you don't have TV, you don't have loud traffic, and all that.
You don't have area.
And really, it's just going to get darker faster. But you're still hanging out with each other, and you're still having fun, and you can actually go for a hike and stuff in the area, and it's really just kind of a reduced immersion into your everyday life because it's not like you're without the normal amenities. You still have a bathroom with normal water and soap and stuff like that. But I've never formally learned again the whole, not really having anyone to show me anything. I've just kind of picked up stuff over time.
Well, you did well as a guide. I mean, Sarah and I had a blast. Hobo stew, that was awesome.
Oh yeah, that's mandatory. First night, every time you go.
Yeah.
And if you can ever come out, Rick, that's the first thing you do is after you've gone through the trouble to pick your campsite, you set it up, and you set up your tent and all that. That's a very rewarding feeling when you get the tent up because there's a little bit of legwork into it. At least the tents I have, I don't have like those ready.
He had a ginormous tent.
It wasn't like a ready in 2 minute tent. It was like
because it fit all four of us, right? It was room for 5, right?
And it had a splitting room between it. Yeah.
And that was
freaking
awesome.
And then of course my very very first camping time as an adult was with a sleeping bag directly on the tent's canvas, so I could feel the contours of the rock and the ground and all that. Well, now we take inflatable mattresses too with the sleeping bags, with blankets, with a nice comfortable pillow because my back can't handle, more than a day away from my bed. And so try to keep it as comfy and cozy as you can. At least this is just completely for me. I'm not saying this is the rule. This is definitely not the guy's rule. Some people are all about primitive camping and more power to you. I couldn't even lift half of my stuff that I take. So it's really just about enjoying a nice weekend, but just getting away from city life, and your cell phone doesn't work out there. It's nice. It's nice not to have your phone on you, and you take it with you and you have it charged, and it's silly because once you're out there, there's no service, so it's over. And it's just awesome because you typically are out there with, people you care about, and so you're really not in any immediate need to contact people or be contacted, and it's pretty great. So the hobo stew is sort of the night's reward for that first night setup where
so good.
I can't fully explain what it is, but I'll say it's worth it, and it includes bread and the actual hobo stew. It's a soupy, meaty combination. it's a special little surprise, but definitely worth the night's effort. And then the next day you wake up and you get some, you take a little propane grill and do gas stove. I'm sorry, propane stove. Do a little bacon and eggs. Take a thing of milk.
we weren't roughing it, but I mean it was awesome. It was a good experience.
Lunchtime we'll either do like bolio sandwiches, turkey and cheese. And I take my spicy Doritos. Dinner time is usually either steak or hamburgers on the actual grill. And then the daytime activities usually just trying to find like what's the good thing to go do. Like if it's certain parks are more amenable to taking a bike, some are good for camping. Camping.
For us it was like a hike.
Hiking. I am really tired. Hiking, not camping. Hiking, and actually that's a lot of fun. If you've ever been to Garner State Park, which is kind of the quintessential camp place in Texas, it's got a little area called Old Baldy, and Old Baldy is sort of the awesome little tiny. It's a small little hilly / mountainous little area. You can just kind of hike in a circular motion till you get to the very top, and then when you get to the very very top, there's just this giant mound of rocks. You can go sit on top of it. On the other side of that, Enchanted Rock is brutal. If you're not in shape, that is a really difficult hike. Hiking up Enchanted Rock, that will test your wills. I'm typically winded. I'm typically winded, and it's just simply walking up Enchanted Rock. You will feel how out of shape you really are. So, but fun, very beautiful, nice high winds up there. Feel like you can get knocked off. So.
Jeez.
No one taught me how to camp, but I honestly don't think that's one of the things that you have to have sort of a introduction to. I don't think you need a guide or a mentor. You could literally just look up online or look up anywhere or ask a friend, what are some things to take? Pick a state park, buy your pass and get your site and get a tent and go out there, and it's amazing. But something I've never done to this very day is hunt. And I wouldn't even begin to know, besides some type of firearm, what to do about that. Like, permit, where did you go, what season is it to hunt, whatever. If you actually do get something, do you got to go and get it? Do you have to, I have no clue. I don't even know strategically if to me, hunting is supposed to be hard. It sounds like it's supposed to be hard. Mm-hmm. And then some people talk about it like, oh no, if you go out to this area, the deer, they just stand there and you can just walk right up to them and shoot them. Like,
be like those guys
that sounds difficult.
You go on the website where you just pay and you can just shoot them with a remote gun.
That's horrible.
Over your internet connection, which is the stupidest thing ever.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah. Just remote guns and you just
come on.
You just Call of Duty that deer.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's pretty much it.
That's really sad and depressing.
But as thing is I guess that
wow.
Some of these things that at some point in my life I was probably exposed to, a lot of these things, being around family members that would barbecue, and for me that was a thing where I was people barbecue and they'd be like, oh, don't you want to learn? And I'd be like, no, and I'd go inside and play or go play. I was here. As a kid, my stepdad would be like, oh, I'd be with my dad, and he'd be like, oh, let me show you how to do this. And I'd be like, oh, never mind. And they'd be like, never mind, get out of here. I'm going to idiot. Because I'd have zero interest, or I'd start getting distracted and start playing with shit, whatever. Or hunting. I went hunting, I guess, once.
Oh, really?
I've actually been hunting. And that's one of those things.
What were you hunting? Deer. Oh, yeah.
And so if I could digress into an anecdote about that, that's the thing. It's I'm again, so many other things we talk about. They're things that can easily become sensitive topics of people. If I'm I don't like hunting, people the first response is oh, well, blah blah blah, and they have to defend hunting as if it's you're insulting them. And that's not really, I've been hunting. I've as a kid, we used to go to the gun range and shoot pistols and shoot rifles and stuff. Cool. And I did all that stuff. I was a good shot. But the part that never transitioned for me was that one of the times I remember actually going hunting, it was the same deal. Probably the big turnoff was it was early in the morning. We were out somewhere in Carrizo Springs on a deer lease that was owned by a friend of my grandfather's or something, and we went with my dad and my grandfather and another great uncle. And so it's we went out there we're out there at 5 in the morning, and they're up in the blinds, right? Like my grandpa's in one blind, my dad's in another blind, the uncle's in another blind, and it's not like a real social thing because I mean maybe it is now the way people do it, but the way I remember is you sat in the blind by yourself and someone's in the blind by themselves, and there's no cell phones or walkie-talkies or iPods or iPhones to mess with or to watch movies on while you're waiting. You're just sitting there by yourself, and I get that. I get whatever that is to people. Like you're one with nature, and there's peace in nature and all that shit. Fine, but I remember like not wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to get up and go sit in the blind all day long. So I was asleep in the back of my grandfather's camper in his truck, and I was dead asleep. And I woke up because I heard a gunshot, right? Like a .223 rifle, right? Loud as fuck. And I remember jumping out, and my first instinct as a kid, and I was, probably in elementary school, like second or third grade or something, and I was absolutely terrified.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't
prepared for that.
I wasn't prepared for it. And that's probably, that's around the time, because I had like a little .22 or something. So it's like I'd already shot guns before, But I was terrified. And I immediately thought something bad happened, because that's how my mind works.
Yeah.
And I jumped out of the back of the truck, and I went running towards like the sound. And I'm like, kind of upset about like, what happened? Oh my gosh, And, my dad had shot a deer. And, from up in the blind, from whatever, how far away it was. And he had hit it, but it wasn't a kill shot. Like, he had hit it below, like, wherever you're supposed to hit it in the neck to sever the artery or the spine or whatever it is you do. It was a little bit below that. So it had this giant, gaping fucking hole in its neck.
Oh, my God.
And that's the thing. Is like, this thing's fucking flopping around, bleeding and dying. And I don't have a problem describing this because that's the real shit, right? It's like, it's not like, oh, it just fell down and you just, next thing you know, you're eating it. No, it's like, it's shit. So you're watching something's life disappear forever. And, it was one of those moments as a kid, I was just like, at that moment, I was like, no.
Yeah.
Not for me. Like, I don't care. Like, people in my family hunt now. So it's not a thing where I'm like, oh, that's stupid, you're dumb. It's like, I just know that's not for me. Yeah. You may not like, playing video games or eating a taco truck, but like that's not for me doing that, And it was that probably that specific event, and it just had no interest. And then even going forward later in the day, we were walking in the woods and together as a group, and I had my little .22. I was just holding it, like I think it was like shooting at like cans or whatever they had set up for me, and this big ass jackrabbit runs by, and it's like probably say I don't know, 30, 40 yards away. Enough that you'd probably need a scope, if you're not awesome. And I remember them being like, oh, you can shoot it. Like, here's a chance. Like, shoot it, and we can eat it. And it's not like you're just killing something. It's like, they'd already, I didn't even mention the fucking cleaning of the deer and the gutting
I've heard
it.
That's horrendous.
That's disgusting shit they got to do, right? That's fine. I'll eat the shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not, I'm not,
venison's amazing.
But we're walking, and they're like, shoot it. And I'm like, okay. And I got and it's like, I'm the pressure of that. And that's the one thing in the world I hate is people going, do it, just do that, do that, do that. And I'm sitting there and I look through the sight and I see this little fucker just sitting there and like nibbling on fucking leaves or whatever. Yeah. And I said, I can't do it. Like, it's just, and my great uncle grabs a gun without even looking to the fucking scope, goes, pah! And just fucking shoots this thing in the head. And there they are cleaning it and doing all that. Oh, man. So that was
traumatic.
One of my few experiences with hunting. That, and from then on, like, I, lost touch with whatever that is. So now, like, if someone asked me to go, I'd be very weary because whatever I probably should have been, taught, I didn't learn because at that point I kind of just shut down to it, so I don't know. But you guys said you haven't ever been before?
No, I've never been hunting. I knew a long time ago it wasn't for me, and I think one of the first times I realized that I was at an uncle's house, and he had like deer heads everywhere. And just as a kid, being in his house and being just like horrified, like it's a head of an animal that once had blood flowing through it and a brain and thoughts and children. And and then I thought back to Bambi, and I'm like, oh, I hate my uncle. My uncle's horrible. Later on I realized that he's not really horrible, and he's just a racist. But anyway,
because that's okay.
No, definitely not. But like, I just realized, I was like, that's not for me at all. And then when I picked up fishing, because I think fishing and hunting are similar in some ways, but dissimilar
Yeah, no, I
in
understand.
other ways. Like, I don't know, fish maybe do have feelings. I don't know. According to Kurt Cobain, they don't. But, like, I enjoy fishing, but I've discovered that I don't enjoy cleaning the fish or killing the fish, which is even worse because apparently I love torturing them with a hook in their mouth.
Yanking their face off.
Yanking their face off,
stuck
taking
in
the
their
hook
gills
out,
and damaging
taking
them.
pictures with them, and then throwing them back in, which I guess is horrible too, but they live at least, just with a hole that grows back in like a few hours or whatever.
Yeah. sure does, Mario. They don't just float to the top and get eaten by a
catch
carrion
and
bird.
release swimming, fishing, catch and release fishing
Yeah.
exists solely for sport, right? That's the whole concept.
To me, it's a fun way of fishing without all the work. Like, I actually went fishing with my father-in-law, and we went to Calaveras, and we brought in a pretty good haul of catfish, and some of those suckers weren't dead when we were trying to skin them. Like, that was a horrible experience.
Right.
And then there's a shitload of bones in them, which is the other horrible experience. It takes forever to skin them.
Yeah.
And fillet them properly and clean them and everything, and there's guts that you have to pull out, and there's like, oh, don't squeeze that too hard. Oh, now there's poop everywhere. Yeah.
You ruined your meat.
So like I think I finally decided that that's not for me. So catch and release, while I don't really consider it a sport, I mean, I consider it a nice way to pass some time, and it's fun. I mean, when you have something on the other end that's fighting, and I guess it's horrible because now I think about it even more. It's fighting for its dear life.
Yeah.
But
yeah. You? Hunting?
No,
Fishing?
Never been. Never
Either
been.
one?
Neither. Never been. I've always wanted to, just for the experience of it. Fishing, for sure, I would love to try. Hunting, it'd kind of be one of those depends on what and where and what time of year kind of thing.
Zombie apocalypse.
What?
Zombie apocalypse. It's the only way that you're going to survive.
That's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. Sorry, folks.
Sorry. Walking Dead fans. It's not real.
It's not real. It's not real.
It's not real.
It's not real.
It's a real snot. So, but let's say you're in a situation where something happens and you're forced into the woods.
But that's the
and
thing.
only
You,
way to
you have to
survive.
like this kind of. I'm not being shitty, but like discount the fact that like survival. Like we're like you
Yeah.
have to hunt. Like of course I would hunt if I had to. If I had to like
Yeah.
feed my family.
Well, there's some
or,
people
like,
that are just straight up like, no, it's never going to happen. I'll eat
No,
berries.
no, I
I'm
mean,
like, that's not going
Zombie
to work.
apocalypse? Is that what you're talking about?
No, just in general.
like hunting and like as a moral issue. Like I would never hunt. I'd rather die than kill an animal. Like that's a completely different thing because that's a scenario that most people are never going to be faced with. Like you're not going to be like in the woods with a fucking knife and Bambi and
Yeah.
having to make that decision to feed your family. Like it's not going to happen. And if it does,
True.
it's probably your own fault because you got lost. So too bad. That's nature.
All right. So okay, so we've knocked out hunting and fishing. Mike, I know you've got a grill in the back, right?
Right.
So Rick, you and I don't grill at all. You don't grill, right?
No.
No, neither do
But
I.
see that. Choose your words carefully. You're saying you don't grill as if you say like, well, you don't dance. It's like
Well, no,
I
no.
just don't know how,
Well, neither
and
do
I'm
I.
too lazy to learn.
And we both live in apartments, and we can't grill.
right,
So, I mean, that nixes that.
right, and it's messy and
it's messy.
because it's nice because like I know
Just
someone
keep-
like Mike who knows how to grill or Nick, and they go, hey, I'm grilling. I'm like, cool. I'll bring
Yeah.
lots of beer and I will watch you grill and
And
eat
I
it.
will eat
Yeah.
lots of food. Yeah.
There has to be the cooker and the eater.
So, how did you learn how to grill?
That one I just taught myself. Like
Yeah.
I watched my grandfather when I was a little kid. He used to get the big barrels that I think used to have either molasses or honey in them or something like that. And because my grandfather worked at the Rainbow Bread Company when it was
Oh,
here
cool.
in town, and he would get these barrels and bring them home. And he, I remember him cutting one of the barrels in half and then welding metal legs to the bottom of the half of the barrel, and then he would just put a grate across the barrel, use the other half as the lid, and attach two welded bolts to both ends, and so he made a barbecue grill out of that.
that's
And
cool.
so I watched him very, very simply. This is literally what I would watch him do. We'd go to the store, he'd get a bag of charcoal, throw the charcoal in. This was my favorite thing to do, by the way, was to get the charcoal and throw it into the pit, spray lighter fluid
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
and then throw a match on there. Normally, what I would see him do was just the match would kind of light real light, and then he'd get the fluid and then fire that spray
yeah.
on it, and then you'd see the flames go super high. And I remember as a little kid, like being right next to it. He didn't like say get back or anything, and I could feel the heat like,
Yeah.
on my face. Pretty dangerous. But
yeah.
as a young adult, when I got my first grill as well, I bought a smoker grill as my first grill, and that was the first thing I started doing was putting in that charcoal and just doing. I literally would just repeat what I saw.
Yeah.
It's the same way I learned how to play basketball. No one really taught me. I just sort of saw people shoot and thought, well, let me pick the guy who shoots best and who scores the most, and I'll emulate shooting technique off of what I watch, and that's what I did with barbecuing too. So when I bought my first grill, I think I was like 22, and it was a smoker grill, and I would just buy that charcoal and light it with the fluid and get those flames going. And then later I started learning actual technique. I started learning, to use wood or smoke chips and this, and that the actual like charcoal with the gas wasn't actually the best thing for it. And I also used to like put my meat on right after the flames were up. I didn't know like to let it get white and stuff like that. So I started learning little things here and there because you're trying to burn off those chemicals. The charcoal, the briquettes have natural chemicals and stuff like that. And so the flames you're supposed to let them get a white hot ash so that the fire's at its hottest point. And I think also to get some of those chemicals out. And so
not into your burger.
Yeah, exactly. And so I started learning stuff like that. I started learning how to use, actual like real wood. And then I started learning about propane grills and stuff like that. And it's just been one of those trial and error things of like, I ask people like, how do you like your burger or your steak? And they'll say like medium or medium rare. And so I've learned, the one thing I haven't yet to try, Nick and I've always wanted to do this, is do our own brisket in the grill, because that requires tons and tons of hours maintaining a certain heat with a certain wood. And keep feeding that fire and stuff like that. It's a lot of patience and a lot of work that goes into it. But we've always wanted to both try it together and like start in the daytime and just go all through the night and just get a bunch of beer and just take it all the way till we get that brisket done. But everything else I've tried, and a big part of it is just false confidence. Pretend like you know what you're doing and try not to burn the thing. And when you first start learning how to grill steaks, I think anyone who's ever tried could tell you probably flipped it like 50 times. Just because you keep checking it.
Yeah, you're not supposed to, right?
As you learn, the thing should be flipped once. It goes on, it cooks for a certain amount of time, you flip it once to get the other side, and it's done. Whatever amount of time that is. And that's it where steak's concerned. Yeah. So grilling is just one of those things where over a period of years, I think you just pick up stuff from other people. You see stuff on TV, you see articles online, you see a YouTube video here and there, and it all kind of matches up with stuff you do, and you're like, that's a little trick I didn't know, and hey, that's something I was already doing. It reinforces something you tried on your own, and at the end of the day, the taste is the key.
Man,
when you pull it off there, and you're like, oh, that actually worked out, and then you start learning, what rubs to use, or sometimes with spices less is more when it concerns certain things. Like with steak now, I've learned I'm just salt and pepper. That's it. I used to do all these crazy rubs and get all these different spices and add all these 50 different things in there.
I'm hungry now.
Now it's just salt, pepper, and done. And you buy a quality meat so you can taste the actual meat. So that's the kind of stuff that I've picked up on that based on what I taste. When I cut into it and I try it out, I'm like, this is really, really spicy, or really, really salty, and I can't taste what I'm eating. So when I start seeing things like Allen Brothers catalogs that have like the steaks for sale, where you can order them, and they ship it to you, or whatever, and that stuff is insanely expensive. If you ever heard of like Allen Brothers or like Omaha Steaks and stuff like that, Omaha Steaks is like entry level. Allen Brothers is like prime above prime, and prime beef is considered like the top 2% of all beef. And it's considered top quality because it's, the cattle is fed with a certain high quality of this and that, and then the marbling is another quality you look for.
What's marbling?
Marbling is the fat content, but it's not just like a big slab of fat on the side of the meat. Yeah. Marbling is described as like small, little, thin pieces of fat that go throughout the meat, so that when it's actually like on the grill,
Right.
So when it's on the grill, it'll melt into the meat.
They actually make like fat nets, right? Like it's a netting that you can put on your meat.
I've never heard of that.
Like
fat net.
Yeah, well, not exactly what it's called, but it's like this netting material that is supposed to be like fat, so that way it makes the flavor come out.
I've never heard of that
in the meat. Ever. Yeah, I've seen them wrap like
catch the fat.
Yeah, I've seen them wrap something in. I can't remember what it was.
That's new to me.
Oh. But not on a grill though. But when you start talking about smoker and stuff, I'm like, I don't even know what to tell the difference. I mean, I know propane I'm scared of. That's about it.
And see, the propane grills I've learned too. Like you have to turn them on and let them also burn for a while, also so that chemical and propane stuff isn't like getting into your food and stuff like that. So. For me personally, it's just been about trial and error. In honesty, I've just kind of taught myself most of it. if I was going to like show you guys both what to do, I would say, what is it you want to make? For how many people do you want to make? What's your budget? And then we could buy a very, very basic grill, even for apartment cooking. And it could be,
hibachi.
it could be charcoal. Yeah, it could be charcoal. It could be wood, or it could be a small propane thing, And, if you're just always going to be like, I just would really love to like throw 2 burgers on for like me and the lady and just, get that going, I can easily, show people or show you guys like how to do stuff like that. But if it's like super hardcore, like I don't know how to like grill seafood. I've done it before, but I have no expertise for like I'm going to do crab legs and lobster. I've tried it. I've done some lobster tails and stuff like that, but I don't have like an expertise of when that stuff's done. Fish, salmon, that stuff's real hard because you don't know.
Well, it takes longer too, doesn't it?
It takes longer. The doneness, it's harder. There's a certain thing where I think when we talk about like guy thing, I feel like sometimes intrinsically you're just born to grill meat and born to get that red meat going, and that seems to be something I seem to be naturally have an affinity for. But all the other things I feel like chicken and seafood and other stuff I'd have to learn an affinity for. Honestly, me neither. I don't really feel like grilling chicken. Some people love barbecue chicken.
Well,
That's like the last thing I want.
I think when I was younger, we ate a lot of chicken because it was what was cheap. It was what was available, and I just got tired of it. Like when I was probably like 16,
chicken?
15. Yeah, just chicken in general.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a fan of it unless it's Chinese chicken, like it's like lemon chicken or orange chicken or something like that. Then that's different. But
have you
like,
ever seen an orange chicken? They're really.
I've seen them on the plate as I eat them.
No, they just when
And
they
they
run
have
free,
orange sauce.
just, like you can just pick up a live orange chicken,
chicken?
and just lick it. It tastes like candy.
I like the lemon chickens. You can just squeeze them and just lemon juice shoots out.
Yeah,
everywhere.
exactly.
Not
the
blood.
sweet and
It's not
sour
blood.
chickens.
Yes.
Those are the ones. Those are
Yes.
some days they're nice. some
They'll
days
lick
they're
you
mean.
and then they'll
like
pick
the
your
Sour
eye
Patch
out.
Kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking pull its head off. And eat it.
God, now I'm really hungry though. Jesus.
Yeah.
And it's 1:31 a.m. and I'm freaking starving now.
It's breakfast. You can make a steak and eggs, and it's breakfast.
Go to IHOP.
It's very early
The closest I've gotten to grilling, quote unquote grilling, melting pot.
What's that?
But it's not even a grill. You're cooking your own food, but it's not a grill. It's what's it called? A fondue.
You
and
tip
I'm not
yourself?
talking just cheese. Yeah, pretty much. No, you tip them. Trust me.
Wait, you pay someone to cook your own food?
I've always thought it's really stupid,
That
and it's expensive
sounds
too.
Awful.
But the quality of the food is really what you're paying for, and it's really good food. Like it's fresh seafood, it's fresh, meat, beef, cattle, whatever, pork, whatever, and then vegetables and everything. So, but you're doing it in a fondue, but not cheese. You're doing it in like a broth.
Chocolate fountain?
No, that's for dessert. And the best
God.
one I recommend is s'mores. So that's freaking awesome. S'mores. So you have this fondue pan or fondue bowl or whatever, and it's pretty high heat. You put your stuff on skewers and put it in there or forks or whatever. And the general rule is 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. I mean, it's minutes on how to cook. That's the only reason I knew that seafood took longer is because of that stupid little.
So
brine.
what? Just out of curiosity, with this place, like, what do they do?
They bring it to you. And they guide you. They're like, well, what do you want to eat? These are the sauces that we would recommend. They're like food sommeliers or whatever, if I'm pronouncing that properly, at 1:30 in the morning.
All right.
But that's really, I mean, that, and then of course the ingredients themselves. They bring it to you. They tell you. They make suggestions. This you might want to try this sauce with that. These sauces are for this. Blah blah blah. But it's really good. It's really good food. It's a fun experience, but it does take a lot longer to eat because you're putting things in like 2 forks at a time, and you're just sitting there chilling, waiting, eat.
How
As
much
you're
are they
eating that,
paying you to
put
say
more.
this?
Nothing. We are brought to you by the Melting Pot.
I will say, last thing on the grill thing, restaurant-wise, the coolest steak I've ever had so far, I wouldn't say it was the best steak, but the coolest preparation was in New Zealand, where they did the stone grill.
Okay.
Have y'all ever heard of that or seen that?
They actually cook it on a stone?
Well, yeah, they have these stones. It's a certain type of stone or granite, whatever it is, and they're heated in these specialized ovens, and they bring the plate out to you with the stone on there, and your steak is fully raw. You tell them exactly how you want it cooked, but there's a little chart, and it'll tell you if you want it medium, do this. If you want it well, do this, whatever. And so the stone is heated to like 400 degrees or something like that, but it stays hot the whole time. So when you put your meat on there and starts cooking it, when you cut into it, you have a hot bite of steak from the very first bite to the very last bite because it's on this stone that's insanely hot, cooking it for you. out there, and I thought, wow, how
Really ugly.
how badass is that? But if you did that in the States, people would just put their face on it and sue, and you'd be in court.
Be like,
Yeah,
You know, and
probably.
that place would be
Caution
shut down.
hot.
Yeah, because we have
What?
so many smart people over here.
they tried that. It was
God.
at Jerry World when that lady burned her butt on the bench and then sued him.
What?
for the warming benches.
No, it was like a bench that was outside, and she sat on it, and it was too hot. Or maybe it was a warming bench. Did they have those?
I thought so, but I don't really know.
But she burned herself and then sued him. Was like, "Oh, you
Wow,
burned my
it's
butt."
like that McDonald's lady with the coffee.
coffee.
Yeah. I never forget that story.
know.
That stuff
Is
bugs
that
the
real?
crap
Is
out
that
of
a
me.
urban legend?
I don't know. Maybe it's
sounds
urban
like
legend.
a
That should be an episode.
fucking
Urban
It's
Legends.
a conspiracy.
chicken rat
Conspiracy.
nuggets.
It's a
Rat nuggets.
Episode 10 continues.
Rat nuggets.
Conspiracy.
Beak. Beak.
So something else.
I don't know. Have you been to that new Buzza Bologna stand? It's
Buzz the Baloney?
It's like a craft beer bologna bar.
No. I don't
Good.
know what you're talking about.
It's really good.
I have no idea.
You
what
guys
you're-
check it
where is
out.
that? What's-
That's fake. I
How much
made
are
it
they
up.
paying you?
Somebody was like, "Ooh, cool."
Now,
No, it's fake.
Now, stereotypically,
I'm the only person that likes bologna in the world. Anyway.
stereotypically, guys are expected to know how to fight. Do you guys know how to fight formally?
No, I know how to claw. Scratch.
Were you ever taught by anybody?
No. I'm gonna say no. Not like this is how you take a punch. No. No, not at all. I've luckily never had to be in that situation. The only people I've ever, I always think about that because like I know people that are like, oh yeah, when I was a kid I used to fight and blah blah blah, and I believe them. It's just my experience wasn't like that. Like the way I grew up, like the only people you ever got into fights with were your own friends. You
Right.
get mad at each other and get in a slap fight and then make up the next day or something. So no, did someone
No.
put the gloves on you in the
No.
backyard and get you to punch a tree?
Nope. Got nothing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I will say, like, no one ever, like, said, like, this is how you do this, whatever. But I remember, like, being as a kid, like, getting beat up, like, by older cousins and stuff.
And trying to learn from that.
And just being like, okay, well, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't put... don't.
So you learned everything not to do.
Don't... Yeah, exactly. But no, that's one of those things I wonder, like...
Could you?
Well, no, I just wonder, like, is there, like, people that do that? I guess there is. Like, if your dad was a guy or your uncle, whoever's, like, the guy who's like, I fight. Like, I know that my dad had a kind of a rough younger years, and he used to, like, scrap people, but he never talked about it, and he certainly never, like, bragged about it. I just knew, stuff happened, and, you know. But he was so you would think in that scenario, if you know someone like that, they'd be like, "Oh, this is how you fight. Don't be a pussy." Blah. And I never remember that. I remember like wrestling with cousins or whatever, and that's the extent. But I guess again, like there's people. I guess they do they do the whole thing where they take them in the backyard and like, let me show you how to punch and this and that. And I guess I don't know. It's such a weird thing.
See,
in this day and age, at least.
Yeah. Well, and then that's the other thing. I mean, the whole men aren't learning how to fight anymore kind of thing. See, and I'm the opposite. I took karate. I wrestled in school. I was on the wrestling team and everything. And I don't, like, now I have those dreams where I'm in a fight and I have to put all that knowledge to the test.
And you can't.
And I throw
Slow
a punch,
motion.
and it's slow motion.
Is
Or I
it-
hit the guy, or like I'm aiming for his face, and as I get closer, my fist just slowly goes down, and I just
Is that
hit
a
him in the
getting
shoulder.
old thing? Because I know, like,
I think it
have
is.
those. I know Nick said he's had those too. Or the running thing when you're
those.
running and you're running like in
Yeah.
quicksand.
Oh, I hate that shit, man.
Do you ever have those dreams?
No, actually, no.
Wow.
I have a
lucky.
lot of weird ones, but not that.
You're lucky. Yeah, the not being able to fight dreams are the worst.
Because it's
man.
always like, and it's not like you're fighting like because you're cool. It's like
No,
you're
you're
defending
fighting for
your
your
life,
life.
and you're like, oh fuck,
Yes.
and you're like, you can watch it doing this.
Yes.
Like, it's like that scene from there's a was it in the Wonder Years?
Yeah.
When he gets picked on by this bully when he first starts high school or whatever, and he
Yeah.
finally goes stand up to him and he throws a punch
And
and
it-
fucking misses the guy and hits him in the
shoulder.
shoulder.
That's
Yeah.
my dream. That's
And it's
exactly
like,
why
and
I
you're
had
like,
that
that's
stupid
what
dream.
would happen in real life. Like I'd almost rather just get punched than have that happen and look like
Exactly.
a douche.
And see, but I've had the training. I was in karate for 6 years.
Yeah, but that's
Well, wait,
not
no, 3
it's
years.
not
Four-
real.
4 years.
It's not real.
No, like I would spar.
The thing, Mario, is kata's good
No.
for working up a sweat,
No,
but it
I
won't
would
help you win the
spar.
tournament.
I would spar, and I took weapons training too.
Oh,
And that's the other thing is I have a
shurikens, man. Watch out.
no.
What's a shuriken?
That's a throwing star.
Yeah, Chinese stars.
Shadouken.
Wow. Have either of you guys
Homage
learned
to
how
Street
to
Fighter.
change a tire on the car or change the oil of a car?
Yes.
Tire, yes. The
Both.
hard way. I've learned that. Oh, fuck.
Both. I can do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
I
me
fucking
neither.
hate that shit.
I wish I would have. I would definitely say I wish I would learn how to change my own oil in a car, because I know I had opportunities and I didn't because I was a little idiot. And I would now. I really wish I knew.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not that hard. It's just.
I know it. Well, that's the thing. Now it's
sweaty
like
and it's dirty
yeah,
and
what do you do with the oil?
mucky.
That's
know-
really the thing.
you
Is like,
know
Oh
you
yeah,
what it
you
is?
got to put it somewhere.
And I'll tell you this too. But my grandfather, I used to do that with him. He used to have me get under the truck, and I learned how to change the oil when I was like 10. And he just showed me like it's just one bolt, and it's a real pain in the ass to get off. But once you get it off, the oil starts coming out. And he had this. I don't know what material the plastic bucket was, but it was the oil, and he'd be like, as soon as it was done, I always remember thinking how I equated it with being wealthy because they used to watch the Beverly Hillbillies, the black and white
yeah.
show, and they'd show the opening credits
yeah.
with the black gold and the oil,
Yeah,
and I was like,
Texas.
oh, oil, so that must be worth something.
That's
so
funny.
This oil's also worth something, you know? And
Yeah.
my grandfather would be like, okay, you know, in a real gruff voice, he'd be like, Michael, go take it to the back and dump it out. And so there was this corner of the yard and the property, and that's where I used to dump
jumping into the Edwards aquifer,
exactly. It
to
was
the
like,
recharge zone.
I was like,
Picture
oh
me
man,
to the
I look
three-eyed
back.
fish.
I look back on them like, oh, he didn't know. I didn't know. That's just a sad, or I hope he didn't know. That was a sad, innocent mistake.
Hey, what
But
happened to my pet duck?
yeah, you know the oil
Oil
thing.
slick.
I never minded doing it. I never minded the getting dirty and getting under there, and it's a really fast, simple process. What always freaked me out was the damn using the jack. Using
Yeah,
the
worried
jack.
about the
Oh,
car
yeah.
falling.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like it really goes through
Yeah.
your head. And when I started doing it by myself, when I had my '91 Ford Explorer, I bought it in 2001 or 2000, and it was a terrible vehicle right from the get go. And I spent the first time I'd ever saved up like $3,000 for myself. I spent it on that '91 Explorer. I don't know if you remember me having that truck.
Yeah, white one, right?
Yeah, the white one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, every single
Red
thing that could go
interior.
wrong with it. It's right.
See?
Everything
Good
that
memory.
could go wrong with that car went wrong with it, with that SUV. And when I would change the oil, trying to find the right place to put the jack. A couple times I was jacking it up and it slipped right off. I was like, well, that was the wrong place to put the jack. And that was just me working it. So,
Thank God you found out that time.
oh man, I was like, that's,
Yeah, see that kind of.
and that's why I'll just pay for that stuff.
Jump-
'cause
how about
I'm not.
jumping
I'm
car?
not. I'll make that joke. We
Oh.
talk about like guy thing. I'm not a man. When I say I'm like
Yeah.
I don't have the
Yeah, there's certain
the
things.
tool. I don't have the tools in my mental and my physical tool belt to handle stuff like that on the fly. It's more like I write the checks so that it can get taken care of because I'm too afraid I'll screw it up. Not because I don't want to. I'd love to learn how to be more proficient with tools and like I have a mechanic's wrench set in my garage, but I don't have much of I hardly ever pull it out. It's usually all about finding your flathead and your screwdriver and your basic
Yeah. How do I hang
drill.
this frame on the wall?
Exactly.
With my pictures.
Exactly. The tools we have are for domestication and not for like my buddy Anwar from college. He bought this classic Porsche for like $10,000 or something real cheap. It was like a 1980s Porsche. And when I visited him once in Fort Worth in his garage, I was like, "Hey, where's your Porsche? You still have it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I go in, the entire thing is taken apart. He took the entire thing apart,
Wow.
every single nut and bolt. The frame is by itself, the engine's out, and you just see like 10,000 bolts just laid out. And he's like, "Yeah, man, okay, I'm gonna check everything out. I'm gonna put it back together." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Someone can do that?"
Yeah.
You know, I'm
So
like,
did he?
Yeah,
Did it
that's
work out?
nuts.
Yeah,
Wow, nice.
yeah. He's nuts. It's crazy.
That's
He would
crazy.
send me
That's awesome.
pictures of him like he bought the thing to like lift the engine and stuff like that. He's an engineer, so I
Oh
mean,
wow.
but
Yeah, the
crazy.
chain
like,
thing,
but
yeah.
no one really showed him how to do that stuff. He just sort of got into it because he's excited by it. He had a passion for it, and so he was like, "I'm going to take this on." I'm like, "That's
Yeah,
insane."
That's awesome, man.
The thing lately that I've been, like you mentioned, I heard you mention it was like the
Jumping
jump
car?
starting car. I was
Oh,
terrified.
fuck that.
And that's the thing is most things that you could
can
learn,
die.
you can learn that are useful can also kill you. Like I
yeah.
said, like the jacks, like if you change your oil wrong and you drive down the road and all your oil comes out, and
Yeah.
you blow your fucking engine, and the jump starting thing, like, and now I'm at the point where I have to actually, because of my job, I usually do it maybe,
Oh, really?
a couple of times a month where I have to jumpstart cars with like battery boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like every single time,
It's nerve-wracking.
even though I know how to do it now, every single time I read the back of the instruction where it's like connect this one first. Like
Yeah.
I can't even tell you from memory how to do it, but I can do it.
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah.
that's how terrifying it is, and I always have to do it. And I always go like when I'm putting the red one back on, I'm like, okay, this might be it.
And then
Yeah, and then it works, you know.
Yeah,
but it's always
that,
a thing.
dude.
Like even doing it like in the rain, I'm like, can I do this in the rain? Like I have to do it because I have to blah blah. You know, whatever stuff like that.
You know what I hated doing was putting the grounding one on a. It's like put it on the engine block or on a piece of metal. I'm like, for years I used to jumpstart people's cars going positive to the positive and the negative to the negative. I would just put the black on the black. I never put it on a grounding thing, and I learned that you're not supposed to connect the full battery to itself on both ends.
Yeah,
I was
because
like,
you create a constant current, right? Is that why?
Right?
I don't even know why. I just know you're supposed to put.
You're supposed to put it on the ground so that way it causes it to go into the vehicle and disperse. Because if you do a constant current and you get caught in that current, you're in a
There
loop.
you go.
You're dead.
See?
I'm a
You
former
know.
electrical engineering student. I still don't have a full grasp.
I
on
just
that,
know
but
it's
I haven't
terrifying.
I haven't had to jump somebody in freaking
Oh, yeah.
forever.
I don't
Since-
carry-
since
I
I
don't
haven't
carry
jumped anyone since
them.
I got in my gang.
You-
That's right.
Like-
That's right.
I don't carry them, and I've got AAA. Say, hey, fuckers, come get me.
AAA.
Yeah, and whenever my dad used to have to jump cars, like, I was generally panicked. I would generally get, like, really anxious, and I'd just run into the house and be like, I don't want to witness my dad die.
Wow,
I
yeah.
don't want to be around it.
I know what you mean.
Which is also why I had a fear about propane grills, because my dad would also turn on the gas, full blast, and go... and fucking big fireball.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, I don't want to be around
I
it.
think something that
So thanks, Dad.
like something that I don't want to say I'm getting used to, something I'm trying to learn how to do, and I think that's part of that, like, you know, putting the quotes, like,
Air
guy
quotes.
thing. And it's something that my dad always, I kind of, because I work with my dad, I learn is that he'll do something. He's like, oh, you just have to do it. Like, that's how you learn something, by just having to do it. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you make a mistake, and then you just. And I'm like, I'm such a cautious,
Me too.
wimpy person. I'm like, what do you mean, like, make mistakes? Like, I don't want to make
wanna make a mistake.
I don't want to
Yeah.
cut my hand, let alone
Yeah.
electrocute myself. I don't, you know. But it's like I notice by increments. Like I do things where I'm like, wow, normally I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's dumb
That's
stuff
good.
that I have to do, but, like, you know, like we deal with cars that have been wrecked and stuff, and a lot of times those cars, like, even though, like, the airbags haven't deployed, once they've been in wrecks, they can deploy at any point in time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're in the
Yeah,
car, and I'm
that's-
like,
oh, that would scare me.
And I'm in there doing something. I'm like this far away from, like, as far away as I am from the mic, and I'm like, if this thing goes off, it's gonna, like, fucking knock my head off.
Yeah.
I'm like an inch away from it, but then I'm like, oh well, like, I don't have a choice because I have to get the set of keys that are stuck here or whatever. Or there's time in the car and there's freaking, like, blood everywhere and stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to touch the blood. It's gross. What if it's blah blah blah? And I'm like, I don't have a choice, right?
Yeah.
At this second, I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
There's no other option. Like, there's no, like, someone else is gonna do it, or I have to go.
Yeah,
run
that's
back
when
and
you're
look
like,
up.
well,
You
shit,
know?
I guess I gotta do this.
Like, I can't tell you how many times I've got, like, one tiny little piece of glass in my hand, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die.
Dude, that just
Like-
happened to me.
like-
Sarah broke a Pyrex thing, and she's like, don't worry, it's not really glass. I'm like, what do you mean it's not really glass?
It's sharp.
She thought it was like plastic something.
It's called
And I'm like,
Pyrex.
it's-
That
yeah.
means plastic
So-
X-ray
So I got this tiny little, and it's always the smallest pieces that are the worst.
slivers.
I couldn't see it. I had to use a little magnifying glass to see the damn thing, and I couldn't get it out with tweezers.
That's like what you have to deal with in the showers as well.
huh? Oh, that's messed up. Yeah.
Damn,
What?
dog.
That's wrong.
Fuck,
Really?
making fun of your
That's
penis.
That's how you that's where you draw the line.
That's right. That's
That's
you
when you
make
get
fun of my
serious.
wiener.
Oh man.
We're talking about guy things and I have a little wiener.
So-
That's the root of all my problems.
We're not supposed to talk about that. It's private.
That makes sense though, because
That's my private
I have a
business.
tiny wiener.
That's
so
my private business.
If the size of your wiener equates to your ability to do man things, then
there we go.
that makes perfect sense.
And we're all in the same bucket.
Makes
So then-
perfect
so then
sense.
I'm among good
You're
company.
doing any business.
Yeah.
So Sarah's like, put super glue on it. I'm like,
That's what it
"Fuck
was
why
invented
not?"
for, man.
So I put super glue on my finger, waited for it to dry, and then peeled it off, and it took the glass out.
Gross.
Yeah,
I
no
use
problem.
these tweezers.
I
Why didn't she
tried.
pull
I
it
told
out
you I
for
tried.
You didn't twizzle it?
Why didn't
No, I
she
couldn't
pull it out
because
for
we
you?
couldn't see it. It was so tiny.
That's what she said.
and
That's what you have to deal with in the showers.
That's,
Again.
anyway, the super glue worked.
That's very cool, Bateman.
okay, what else? So it's
What
we
other guy
covered
stuff?
hunting and fishing and grilling and oil changes and
Oh.
fighting.
I did used to get into fights a lot when I was younger. I got into a couple really serious fights when I was
Ooh.
in middle school, and one I knocked a guy out. I
Oh.
headbutted him.
That's cheating, man.
And he was in my face, and I just like that. And
You're one of those
knocked him out.
guys.
But that was it. Like that fight was just that.
How did
hit
he
him in the head
deal with
and
that
him
after
falling
he
and
woke
passing
up?
out? Well, that's the thing, is that he doesn't remember it. Like I met him again like
Ew,
3,
you
4
probably
years
a dick.
ago.
He's like, one time his fucking kid knocked
No.
me out. You're like, oh, that sucks.
No, but you know
Who
what's
was that?
You know
He's
what's
like,
horrible? Because he used to be a douchebag back then. That's why I headbutted him. He was a bully.
and he changed his life.
No, I headbutted him, and when he passed out, we were in the locker room, and so like 6 other guys came and started kicking the crap out of him, and I left. I'm like,
Wow. So you were
I was an anti-bully.
you were an accomplice to the crime.
I was an anti-bully, and then the other
Bully
big fight,
didn't exist till like about 6 months ago,
That's
dude.
not true.
Ellen told me.
So the other big fight, there was a guy that said something about my girlfriend at the time. Said something about her being a whore or whatever.
Was she?
No, she wasn't.
You're like,
We were in middle school.
that would be a situation. That,
I apparently hung out with the people that weren't that way. So anyway, he said your girlfriend's a whore.
and then you headbutted him.
No, he bit my hand.
Wow,
And
this
as
is-
he was
this is
attached-
heavy duty stuff.
as
man.
he was attached to
Biting
my
and
hand,
headbutting.
I swung him around and slammed him into the lockers, grabbed him by the back of the head, and just kept hitting him against the locker until
What
the
if
locker
he-
popped open. Then I put his head in the locker and kept closing it until he just stopped moving, and I was like, oh, shit.
See, what frightens me about
I got
that
in
kind
trouble
of
for
stuff,
that one.
like what frightens me about some of that stuff, isn't like I always thought like I don't think I have a problem with being like wanting to be a tough guy or anything like that. And if I ever had to get in a fight or had to defend myself, I wouldn't necessarily worry about getting like losing the fight.
Yeah.
If some guy punched me and I was like, "Oh my god," and cried or something, like that would
That'd be it.
I think I'd be okay with that. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not a tough guy. I've never pretended to be. So I don't think anyone would be surprised. It wouldn't be like, oh, Rick, man, I always thought you were such a tough guy. You got punched in the eye and now you're crying. I don't know. I don't know if that would happen. I hope I never find out, whatever.
Yeah.
But the thing I always think about is not that. I think about, like, I'm going to be that guy that the guy will punch me and then I'll fucking die because I'll, like, hit my head on the fucking
yeah.
stairs or,
Oh.
like, some shit.
Because
Or
we're so fucking fragile.
or conversely, like the one time in my life I'll
Push
have
somebody.
to get in a fight and I won't even punch them. I'll shove them and they'll trip over a fucking a rock and then crack their skull open. Then I go to prison because I pushed somebody.
Yeah.
and I wasn't even tough. I didn't even
Yeah.
it wasn't fucking Con Air. I wasn't a fucking lethal
Yeah.
weapon. It was just like an accident.
Well, and that's what drives me nuts about some of these action movies where the guys are like fighting for half an hour.
It's ridiculous.
I'm like, seriously, real life would really be just like you said.
Like
you
the
know, like
runway
3
in
punches in.
Fast and Furious 6, the runway.
But
I haven't seen that yet. 6?
How long the runway was? The runway.
oh yeah, it was like 40 miles long. 30 minutes of the movie.
Oh God.
Actually, it was a loop. That was the problem. It was a circle. He didn't know his spaces. They were just driving. But
Oh, man.
but yeah, and that's something you hear about now. Is like that. Not to make light of that for hurting one's feelings, but like you hear about that in the news.
Yeah.
People get punched and like some guy died. Like,
Yeah.
what happened? Did he get like he shoot him? No, he punched him and then
once.
he died.
Yeah, this
Like,
happened. This happened like what, a year ago?
I mean, that happened here in town.
Yeah,
fairly
recently.
recently. But I mean, that's happened in the news, like nationally. You're like,
Yeah.
what? Or you have those people that like those knockout gangs. That's a thing where like people
Oh,
go up and
yeah.
just punch strangers and knock them out. And I'm like, what?
Why? Yeah,
Like
why-
that's
why?
so weird. I don't get it. And again, like, maybe these. I mean, obviously these people are tough guys, and I'm not a tough guy. But I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't get it. But whatever. I'll leave that to the tough guys.
but it's weird. Like those dreams that I have of not successfully punching somebody make me feel like as a man, I should feel like I want to know that I can fight.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, punch Mike. Let him karate chop
Please,
you.
man, let it rip.
He's but see now it's
I couldn't-
see, but now you got to catch up because when you were young you did karate, which
Well,
it's
and
like
that's the
either
thing.
you were the kid that did karate or you weren't. There was like two kids
Yeah.
when you grew up. It's like the kid's like, hey dude, I'm a green belt, man. Oh okay, I can fight. I'm like, okay, well stand right here, right there, stand right there, and put your hand on my shoulder. No, right here. Okay, what are you doing? No, when you put your hand here, I'm gonna grab your hand here. I'm gonna kick you, and then what if I move? Don't move. You can't move. I have to be able to kick you correctly. I'm like, shut up, dude. Like,
Yeah,
it's
no,
never
no, that's
unless
not
you're
how it
fighting
really
another
works.
8-year-old who has a green belt. You're not gonna have a successful engagement.
that never.
But my point is now your antiquated karate doesn't matter because now someone's gonna
Krav Maga.
someone's gonna Krav Maga you, dude. They're
Yeah.
gonna fucking claw your face and beat you with the fucking ashtray.
Yeah.
And you got no defense for that.
No,
Mr.
no.
Miyagi didn't teach that.
Well, that's the
know?
thing. You know what you do. You download the ebook for Krav Maga, and you read each chapter. And I did, and it's hilarious because chapter 1 is like You're in the bathroom. And what does it say? Grab the soap, use it as a weapon.
Yeah.
Grab the toilet bowl
But-
seat,
but
use
that's
it as
the
a
thing
weapon.
is, like, in-
Grab the toilet roll, use
Yeah.
it as a weapon. I'm like, everything is a weapon.
But,
like,
but
that's
the
all it
thing
is.
it's funny.
Just
like,
grab it and hit them.
Like I realize that's
Repeatedly.
a real. Yeah, I realize
That's
that's a real form of martial arts and all this, whatever.
Israeli
I get
fighting
that, but
technique.
at the end of the day, like, regardless of whether you know how to fight or not, if you have to defend your life or defend your family,
Yeah.
like that, this isn't like you're fighting over a girl or some guy called your girl.
Right.
It's like if someone's gonna kill me, I'm going to poke your eyeballs out.
Right.
I'm gonna bite your fucking nose off. Like that. The rest goes out the window. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So that's what it boils down to. Is like, oh, like Rick got in a fight. What happened? Oh, he bit a guy's nose off
Yeah.
because he was scared. You know what I mean? But like, that's what's gonna happen. Like you said, you're gonna like if a guy came in right now,
You're gonna
and was
Holyfield
like,
somebody.
I'm gonna kill you. What would I do? I wouldn't be like, put your fucking dukes up. I'd grab
Yeah.
the mixer. Throw it. Grab the computer. Throw it.
Yeah,
grab the
exactly.
Mic, throw
Well, that's
it.
the right thing to
grab
do.
the fucking sword.
Well,
Well,
the best
swinging it. Like
yeah, that would be the best thing to
Dude,
grab.
you
them
said better than you martial art, man. It's fucking
Krav Maga.
pay me $70 a month. I'll show you how to do that. Like throw stuff at people.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
And hope one of them knocks them out. And
Yeah.
then you can stomp on their head until strawberries come out.
So that actually brings up a point. Using weapons. I mean, that could be technically a guy thing. So you learned how to shoot a gun. I never learned how to
When I
shoot
was
a
young.
gun.
But I was lazy. I never learned how to clean one or like
Oh, yeah,
do
ditto.
like reload. Like
Ditto.
I was like pat pat pat, and I was like, here you go, and I'd hand it off to like somebody else to reload
To do it.
Like the 22 is easy because it was the kind that you just unscrew the top and you drop all the rounds inside and then you
Yeah.
turn it. But I know how to clean it. You know?
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't know about that.
by no means.
Mike, you ever have to deal with any weaponry?
That what?
Have you ever had to deal with any weaponry?
Like in a tough situation?
No, just
in general, like, are you skilled with the
like
weapon?
you have a
can
sword
you-
there? Do you know how to use a sword?
I am proficient in
Sorcery.
yes.
Source.
Thank you for asking.
Sword
LARPing,
and sorcery.
LARPing. Mike likes to LARP.
What is
There's
that?
a tree in the backyard that's just taking the shit.
That sounds really bad.
It's been hit so many times with
It's
the foam
it's
sword.
the fake fighting with the foam swords and stuff.
Live action role playing, dude.
Oh.
It's like Warcraft except real. It's with people that are like real. It's real knights and real trolls and goblins.
I know we've thrown like the throwing knife before, or was
Yeah.
that Jimmy?
No,
you
that
threw
was
it
a-
a few
yeah.
times too. Yeah. Aside from that,
No, just regular firearms and
oh, okay. So you shot a gun too.
So yes,
yes. No,
Oh, okay.
I make sure to try and stay proficient in owning those and go to the range
oh,
here and
okay.
there
I
and-
didn't know that. That's cool.
and
I've always wanted to.
I know how to clean it and take it apart and all that stuff, disassemble it. And
I've always wanted to, but you guys know me. I'm afraid that I'd get obsessed with it. Like
You
either
would.
I'd fire it off and like that would freak me out and I'd never touch it again.
because you'd be over you'd be the guy at the gun shows,
or
man.
I'd be
you'd
like,
be the guy
yeah,
from,
or I'd
you'd
be
be the guy
like
from falling
learning
down.
how to use a sniper rifle or something like in a week.
Yeah, hey, check it out, man. I bought these gas masks and this tear gas gun.
But
What?
yeah, I'm
For
not
what?
because you know
Just
my
in case.
personality. I'm
Just
just
in
that
case.
kind of. I'm Anyway,
Yeah. So this is trying to stay on topic, but like I'm intrigued. Not hurting anyone's feelings, fellas. Don't shoot me. But like I'm intrigued by like the zombie apocalypse thing because that feels like it's a guy thing now. Like
a
it's,
lot more women are into.
No, but I'm saying in general, like that's a thing where like if you were like
Yeah.
a kid and you were like I like zombies, people would make fun of you. But like as an adult, people put
Yeah.
stickers on their car that say
Zombie
zombie
fighting.
attack squad, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I built my own gun. It's an assault.
Yeah, it's like a potato gun
It's for
that has
killing
shrapnel.
zombies. Like, I'm not making fun. I'm just saying that that's one of those things. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm out of touch with that.
Well, and as a matter of fact, I got to
Out of
give
touch.
a shout out to the Zombie Life podcast that had me on as a guest about
7 years ago,
9 months ago. Anyway,
you gave birth to a zombie podcast baby yesterday.
no, but I think you're right. I think it is kind of a guy thing that guys get that involved in it. Not that I'm knocking it either, but maybe it's that. To me, I think it caught some of those people that didn't have those guy thing experiences, and said, "This is my opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to teach myself how to be this way or to learn these skills," because either they really believe that there is something that could happen, or they just want to be prepared for it. You know, like maybe that's what it was. That was the excuse for them to do what we haven't gotten to do. You know, to a degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I say more power to them. Do I think a zombie apocalypse is going to happen? No.
Yeah.
Is it a fun idea? Sure.
But that's the thing is like,
I want to learn how to shoot a bow and arrow again. I mean, I used to be good at it in middle school.
I guess the thing that only worries me a little bit about that stuff is that, like, if a zombie apocalypse comes, and, you know, it shall. It's been foretold. But, like, or like Walking Dead. I mean, Walking Dead is any. I mean, I don't even watch that. I'm just dropping that because it's cool.
You used to watch it. And you read the comics.
But if the zombie past is any, you know, education for the future, it's that if a zombie apocalypse comes, chances are you will not be killed by a zombie. You're going to be killed by a zombie attack squad.
Right. Or just another human trying to survive.
You're going to be like, hey, I need some gas for my wife and kid, and they're going to shoot you in the head.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
Like,
I don't want to be around for that world. You know? I'd rather just go with whatever happens the first
Become a zombie.
Thing.
Be the first guy to be like, make me a zombie.
Sure.
Please.
Well, think about it. Like, what was the movie with Viggo Mortensen, The Road?
Yeah,
Have
that's
you seen
horrible.
That movie?
Horrible.
Have you seen that
Not
movie?
a horrible movie,
horrible.
but it's a horrible world.
It is.
Like,
it
that's
is.
stupid.
It's a very sad movie. The whole movie, he's trying to protect his kid
from getting eaten and raped.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I don't even want to see that kind of movie.
Yeah, I can't. I mean,
like,
as a father, I can't imagine having to go through that. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a wimpy guy for thinking it, but I'd be like, hey, let's.
But it's
just
not a tough
die.
guy movie. It's not like it's like, if anything, it's like kind of a tale of emasculation because you're talking about a world where it doesn't matter.
No,
if you have a gun, it doesn't matter if you're a tough guy because there's always going to be
tear you down.
There's going to be someone that's willing to do more horrible things than you are.
Yeah,
and even if you're capable of doing those horrible things, sooner or later you become what? Mm-hmm. You lose your humanity because you become the zombie. That's the metaphor, people. There's no real zombies. It's you become the zombie. Mm. Anyways. Anyway, so what else before?
I think that might be it. I can't think of anything else.
Michael?
Not off the top of my head.
No, I think that's pretty much it. If you guys have any suggestions or any ideas of stuff that we might have missed, you can definitely let us know. www.itsaguything. I see I did it again. The https://www.
Emojicon. That's what we need next. Instead, let's just skip this xxx.xxx. Just go right to like Emojicon, and that's your website. It's like cat face.
Well,
cat face mustache.
I got close. I
want a full on. Like I want a little. If somebody needs to look up the website, there's an emoji, and it's a guy with glasses and a mustache. And just go
and then
Mario.
Well, you know, they started releasing other like not .coms, but like .guru and .photographer and .event.
Why? Why?
So they can make money. It's not going to catch on right away. It might eventually, but
and if you order now, you can have 17 whatevers that no one will ever use or care about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're just going to get your $14 forever. And no one's going to go to...
But that's the thing. It's not $14 forever. It's $14 for the
first year.
First year.
They get you.
Then it's $300 the next year. Ooh. No, it's not that crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Like, just take it.
Like,
take my domain.
Renewing this one and the other one, I was like,
mm-hmm.
Like, it made me seriously think.
Just do the old... Just, reverse trend and be like, I'm just going to do .blogspot.com. I don't care. I need to sound professional. Whatever's free.
Well, I'm even debating if we need a website.
What's a website? And not what's our website. What's a website? That's how advanced the shit's getting, dude. There's no websites anymore.
Well, I mean, like,
there's
really,
no tablets.
There's been discussion in the podcasters world about, do we need websites? Do we need hosts?
Like, we should create these buildings that send signals into the air, and then it plays directly into people's cars.
It's HARP, but...
wait, it's a radio. Never mind. I'm a genius.
So, anyway, you can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Vine, pretty much everywhere. As a member of the 210 Podcast Network, we are partially brought to you by Audible.com, so you can get a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial. Right, Rick? Free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. So if you want to get the audiobook for World War Z, which is really good. It was actually
better than the movie.
It was really good. You can visit 210localmusic.com/audible. It helps us keep the podcast running, and it gives us money, basically, and it's free for you. You can cancel at any time, so as long as you cancel before the end of the trial, you're good, and we make some money off of it, which would be nice, because we do have to pay hosting fees and website fees, because we're not on the radio, like Rick said.
On the radio.
Ooh, yeah, I'm not going to hit that note at 2 o'clock in the morning. Mike's already vacated the premises, so but from the three of us anyway. Have a good night, y'all. Take care.